Welcome to History Unveiled. Today, we're diving into one of the most mysterious and influential occult organizations in Western history, the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. Originating in 19th century Great Britain, this secret society not only redefined magical practice and esotericism, but also left a legacy that has touched everything from modern ceremonial magic and Thelema, to Wicca, and even contemporary pop culture. In this video, we'll explore the Golden Dawn from its formation through its heyday, its complex teachings and structure, its dramatic internal conflicts, and its lasting impact on modern occultism. Whether you're a student of history, a lover of esoteric traditions, or just curious about secret societies, this comprehensive journey is for you. Before we can understand the Golden Dawn, it's important to appreciate the broader context of Victorian Britain, a time when scientific progress and industrial revolution were rapidly changing society. Yet alongside these advancements, there was a growing countercurrent, a renewed interest in mysticism, magic, and the ancient wisdom of secret societies. In the late 19th century, amid the cultural ferment of Victorian England, three men came together to found what would become known as the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. The three founders were William Robert Woodman, William Wynne Westcott, Samuel Liddell MacGregor Mathers. All three men had backgrounds in Freemasonry, and were also involved in the Societas Rosicruciana in Anglia, a Rosicrucian society that itself was part of a long tradition of mystical and esoteric study. Their shared interest in ceremonial magic, Kabbalah, and metaphysical symbolism led them to explore ancient manuscripts and secret texts that promised hidden knowledge. The cipher manuscripts. According to the Order's origin story, Westcott discovered a series of mysterious documents known as the cipher manuscripts. Written in a coded language based on the Trithemius cipher, these manuscripts contained outlines of rituals, grades of initiation, and curricula for esoteric study. Whether they were genuine relics of ancient wisdom, or carefully constructed for the purpose of establishing a mystical lineage, these documents became the foundation upon which the Golden Dawn built its system. Westcott, with the help of Mathers and Woodman, decoded these manuscripts and transformed them into a workable system of ritual magic. They claimed that the manuscripts even contained secret addresses, one being that of a German countess named Anna Sprengel, whom Westcott said had granted permission for the establishment of their temple. Scholars debate the veracity of this tale, with some suggesting it may have been invented to lend an aura of ancient mystery to the order. Establishing the temples. In 1888, the Golden Dawn began its public work with the establishment of its first temple, the Isis Urania Temple in London. This temple became the central hub for the Order's activities, where members from all walks of life gathered to study mysticism and perform ritual magic. In its early years, the Golden Dawn attracted a diverse membership, including artists, poets, and intellectuals, drawn by its promise of personal transformation and spiritual enlightenment. At the heart of the Golden Dawn's philosophy is the belief that hidden, transformative knowledge can lead a seeker to both self-improvement and spiritual evolution. The Golden Dawn's teachings are rooted in a synthesis of several ancient traditions. Hermeticism. Drawing on the legendary figure of Hermes Trismegistus, the Order believed that all the world's wisdom was unified in secret teachings passed down through the ages. Kabbalah. The Golden Dawn adopted the structure of the Jewish Kabbalah, particularly the Tree of Life, as a framework for understanding the nature of the universe and the human soul. Each sephira, or sphere, was associated with mystical qualities and correspondences such as colors, planets, and elements. Astrology, tarot, and alchemy, these subjects formed part of the curriculum. Astrology was used to explore cosmic influences. Tarot was regarded not only as a divination tool, but also as a symbolic map of spiritual evolution. Alchemy was seen as a metaphor for the inner transformation of the self. The practice of ritual magic within the Golden Dawn was not merely about conjuring supernatural forces, it was a path to spiritual development. Members engaged in what is known as theurgy, a practice intended to invoke divine energies and facilitate direct communion with higher spiritual realms. Through carefully structured rituals, initiates aim to awaken inner potential and progress on the path of self-realization. For instance, one of the most well-known rituals, the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram, LBRP, was used to purify one's surroundings and establish a sacred space. Such rituals involve precise gestures, invocations of divine names, and visualizations designed to align the practitioner's inner energies with cosmic forces. The Golden Dawn was a master of symbolic language. Its teachings were rich in allegory and mysticism, and many of its symbols continue to influence modern occult practices. For example, the Rose Cross, a symbol of spiritual illumination, combining the rose, a metaphor for beauty and the unfolding of the soul, with the cross, symbolizing the union of opposites. The Unicursal Hexagram, used in rituals to represent the synthesis of dualities and the harmonious balance of opposites. Tarot imagery, the Golden Dawn system of correspondences, influenced the design of modern tarot decks, such as the famous Rider-Waite-Smith deck, which was developed by members of the order. One of the most intriguing aspects of the Golden Dawn is its structured system of initiation and progression. Membership was divided into distinct grades, each corresponding to different levels of esoteric knowledge and magical ability. The order was typically divided into two main sections. The Outer Order. This was the initial phase of membership. New initiates underwent a series of degrees that introduced them to the fundamentals of Hermetic philosophy, ritual magic, and the study of correspondences. The early grades were based on a system adapted from the Societas Rosicruciana in Anglia, SRIA, and the Masonic tradition. They included grades such as Neophyte, Zelator, Theoricus, Practicus, and Philosophus. The Inner Order. Once a member had progressed through the outer grades and demonstrated a deep understanding of the teachings, they could be initiated into the Inner Order. The Inner Order was known as the Rose Rube et Rupe Ara et Ac, which translates roughly as the Order of the Red Rose and Golden Cross. In the Inner Order, members learned advanced magical practices, such as astral travel, scrying, and alchemical transformation. The highest grade of the Inner Order was the Adeptus Minor, a level that symbolized a major breakthrough in one's spiritual development. An additional, mystical element of the Golden Dawn's structure was the concept of the secret chiefs. According to the Order's teachings, these were transcendental beings or spiritual entities believed to be the true custodians of ancient wisdom. Some members, notably Samuel Liddell MacGregor Mathers, claimed to have received direct communications from these secret chiefs, who provided guidance on rituals and the deeper aspects of magic. While many later scholars debate whether the secret chiefs were literal beings, or symbolic representations of higher wisdom, the idea significantly influenced the inner workings of the order, and bolstered its aura of mystery. Central to the order's system was the mapping of various cosmic elements onto the human experience. For example, planets, colors, and elements. Each grade or level corresponded to specific planets and elements. This system of correspondences allowed members to connect with particular forces of nature during their rituals. The Tree of Life. In Kabbalistic terms, the Tree of Life served as a diagram of creation. By ascending its paths through successive initiations, a practitioner was believed to progress from the realm of the mundane to higher, divine realms. This structured progression created a clear path for spiritual development, and served as a practical framework for the magical work of the Golden Dawn. The Golden Dawn was renowned for its elaborate rituals and ceremonial practices. These weren't just theatrical performances. They were carefully designed exercises intended to bring about inner transformation. Each ritual within the Golden Dawn followed a strict protocol, with detailed instructions for preparatory steps, cleansing the space and the practitioner, often through ritual washing, meditation, and the recitation of invocations. Use of magical implements. Members crafted and consecrated a variety of magical tools, such as wands, chalices, swords and pentacles, that were imbued with specific elemental or planetary energies. Invocation and evocation. During rituals, practitioners would call upon divine names and the energies associated with the four elements. Invocations might include the recitation of passages from the Hebrew Bible, the use of angelic names, or the chanting of magical formulas. Visualization and meditation. A central component of many Golden Dawn rituals was the use of intense visualization. Practitioners would visualize complex geometric forms, light and symbolic imagery, in order to raise their inner energy and connect with higher spiritual realms. One of the most enduring rituals popularized by the Golden Dawn is the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram. This ritual is used to cleanse a space of negative energies and to establish a protective boundary. The practitioner stands facing the east. They trace a pentagram in the air using a wand or finger, invoking divine names associated with the element of fire. Similar pentagrams are traced in the south, west, and north, each with its corresponding divine names and energies. The ritual concludes with an affirmation of protection and the visualization of a radiant circle of light surrounding the practitioner. This ritual, among others, laid the groundwork for many modern magical practices, including those adopted by Wiccan traditions. A key concept within the Golden Dawn's magical system is the development of the body of light, a subtle, energetic vehicle believed to allow the practitioner to traverse spiritual realms. Purpose. By building and refining the body of light, a practitioner could access higher planes of existence, receive divine wisdom, and ultimately experience the mystical union with the divine. Practice. Rituals aimed at developing the body of light often involved meditation, the use of magical chants, and visualizations that focused on the transformation of ordinary energy into spiritual illumination. The Golden Dawn was not a closed club. It attracted some of the most fascinating and creative minds of its time. Many well-known figures either joined the order or were influenced by its teachings. Perhaps the most famous member of the Golden Dawn is Aleister Crowley, who later became a seminal figure in modern occultism. Early involvement. Crowley was initiated into the Golden Dawn in 1898, adopting the magical name Frater Perdurabo, which means, "I shall endure to the end." Although he initially progressed through the outer grades, his controversial lifestyle, marked by his experimentation with drugs, his open bisexuality, and his unorthodox ideas, eventually led to conflicts with other members. Legacy. After a tumultuous departure from the Golden Dawn, Crowley went on to develop his own system of magic, known as Thelema, and founded groups such as the A Therefore, and later took control of parts of the Ordo Templi Orientis, OTO. Despite his later reputation as a black magician and provocateur, Crowley's early experiences in the Golden Dawn were foundational in shaping his approach to ritual, symbolism, and the pursuit of true will. The famed Irish poet, William Butler Yeats, was another prominent figure associated with the Golden Dawn. Mystical inspiration. Yeats was captivated by the Order's symbolic system and its exploration of mystical themes. His poetry and plays were deeply infused with occult symbolism drawn from his experiences with the Golden Dawn. Cultural impact. Yeats' involvement helped bring attention to the Golden Dawn and cemented its place in the cultural and literary history of the occult. Arthur Machen. A Welsh author known for his supernatural and horror fiction, Machen was influenced by the mystical ideas circulating within the Golden Dawn. Florence Farr. As one of the few prominent female members, Farr played a critical role in both ritual practice and the administrative affairs of the Order in England. Moyna Mathers. Wife of Samuel Liddell MacGregor Mathers, she was instrumental, not only in supporting the Order, but also in contributing to its artistic and symbolic development. Other figures like Dion Fortune, Arthur Edward Waite, and even lesser-known members, contributed to the order's dynamic legacy, and influenced later esoteric and magical traditions. No secret society is immune to internal strife, and the Golden Dawn was no exception. Despite its initial promise and rapid growth, internal rivalries, power struggles, and differing visions eventually led to the order's fragmentation. By the late 1890s, conflicts over leadership and direction had begun to emerge. Mathers versus other leaders. Samuel Liddell MacGregor Mathers, who had played a dominant role in shaping the Inner Order, became increasingly authoritarian. His insistence on maintaining absolute control, coupled with his controversial initiation practices, led to growing dissent among the London members. The case of Aleister Crowley. Crowley's rapid ascent and his unorthodox behavior exacerbated tensions. When the London Lodge refused to initiate him into the Inner Order, due to his lifestyle and controversial practices, Mathers overrode their decision by initiating him in Paris. This act led to a bitter fallout with the London adepts. Public revolt. In response to these internal disputes, a committee of London members was formed, leading to the expulsion of Mathers from the order in 1900. This marked the beginning of the fragmentation of the Golden Dawn. Following these conflicts, the original order broke apart into several smaller groups, each claiming to be the true inheritor of Golden Dawn teachings. Alpha et Omega. Led by Mathers and those still loyal to his vision, this branch claimed continuity with the original system, even as it underwent rebranding and restructuring. Stella Matutina. Formed by members dissatisfied with Mathers' leadership, Stella Matutina became one of the most influential splinter groups. It continued to practice and refine the Golden Dawn rituals well into the 20th century. Other modern organizations. In the decades since, various groups have emerged claiming lineage from the Golden Dawn. These include the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, Inc., and other independent organizations that rework the original material for contemporary practice. Some of these modern orders emphasize historical reconstruction, while others adapt the teachings to new spiritual and cultural contexts. Even after its formal dissolution in the early 20th century, the Golden Dawn's influence has been far-reaching. Ceremonial magic and Thelema. Many present-day concepts of ritual and magic owe their origins to the Golden Dawn. Aleister Crowley's Thelema, for example, integrates many Golden Dawn principles into its structure and practice. Wicca and neo-paganism. The ritual techniques, such as casting a circle, invoking elemental forces, and using ceremonial tools, adopted by the Golden Dawn, have found their way into modern Wiccan practices. Although Wicca developed independently, its early founders were influenced by the ceremonial magic of the Golden Dawn, tarot and divination. The Golden Dawn's extensive system of correspondences helped shape the symbolism of modern tarot decks, including the iconic Rider-Waite-Smith deck. Today, tarot cards are not only used for divination, but are also appreciated as tools for meditation and self-discovery. Alchemy and inner transformation. The Order's emphasis on alchemy, as a metaphor for personal transformation, has resonated with many contemporary spiritual seekers. The idea that one can transmute base experiences into spiritual gold continues to be a powerful symbol in modern esoteric literature. The Golden Dawn's influence extends beyond the realm of occult practice, literature and poetry. Writers like W.B. Yeats and Arthur Machen incorporated Golden Dawn symbolism into their works, contributing to the broader cultural imagination of the occult. Visual arts. Artists have drawn on the Order's rich iconography, from the Rose Cross to the Unicursal Hexagram, in creating works that explore themes of mystery, transformation, and the interplay between light and darkness. Music and popular culture. In modern times, elements of Golden Dawn symbolism have appeared in the work of various rock musicians, and in films and books that explore occult themes. The legacy of secret societies, mystical rituals, and forbidden knowledge continues to fascinate audiences worldwide. Though the original order ceased to exist in its initial form over a century ago, its ideas have been transmitted through various channels, publications and teachings. Israel Regardie's multi-volume works, which compiled and elucidated the Golden Dawn system, remain essential reading for anyone interested in ceremonial magic. His publications helped demystify many of the rituals, and made the material accessible to a broader audience. Modern initiatory orders. A number of contemporary groups claim to be direct successors of the Golden Dawn, often adapting its rituals and teachings to suit modern spiritual sensibilities. While debates about lineage continue, the core principles of the Golden Dawn remain a touchstone for many practitioners of Western esotericism. Scholarly research. Historians and researchers continue to study the Golden Dawn not only as a mystical organization, but also as a cultural phenomenon that shaped the intellectual and spiritual currents of its time. Although the historical Golden Dawn disbanded in the early 1900s, its influence did not fade away. Instead, the teachings have experienced periodic revivals and adaptations in the modern era. Today, several organizations claim to uphold the traditions of the Golden Dawn. They vary in structure, emphasis, and claim to lineage. The Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, Inc. Founded in the 1970s, this group seeks to revive the original rituals and practices as closely as possible to their historical form, while making them accessible for modern initiates. Independent orders and Reconstructionist groups. Other groups exist around the world that, while not claiming unbroken institutional lineage, consider themselves spiritual heirs of the Golden Dawn. These groups often place a strong emphasis on personal transformation, ritual work, and the study of occult symbolism. Hybrid movements. In some cases, elements of the Golden Dawn system have been integrated into broader eclectic or New Age movements. For example, many Wiccan traditions borrow techniques for casting a circle, invoking the elements, and using ritual tools that can be traced back to Golden Dawn practices. Reviving a secret, initiatory tradition like the Golden Dawn in today's open, digital world is no easy task. Modern groups face several challenges. Authenticity and adaptation. How much of the original material should be preserved, and how much must be adapted to resonate with modern practitioners? This remains a lively debate among scholars and practitioners alike. Lineage and legitimacy. Many modern organizations claim lineage from the Golden Dawn, often through the work of Israel Regardie, or through direct reconstitution of historical rituals. However, questions of legitimacy and authenticity continue to spark controversy within the occult community. Cultural relevance. The symbolism and language of the 19th century can seem archaic to the modern seeker. Contemporary orders are therefore tasked with translating these ancient ideas into a language and practice that feels alive and relevant in the 21st century. Despite these challenges, the spirit of inquiry and transformation that characterized the Golden Dawn continues to inspire new generations. The emphasis on personal experience, self-transformation, and the direct engagement with symbolic language remains as potent today as it was over a century ago. Modern practitioners, whether through ritual magic, meditative practice, or artistic expression, are still searching for ways to pierce the veil of ordinary perception and glimpse the deeper mysteries of existence. The Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn stands as one of the most influential secret societies in the history of Western occultism. Born in the twilight of the Victorian era, it emerged from a complex interplay of mysticism, science, and a countercultural yearning for deeper knowledge. Its founders, Woodman, Westcott, and Mathers, set in motion a system that combined the rich symbolic heritage of Hermeticism, Kabbalah, and alchemy with rigorous initiatory practices. Through its elaborate rituals, structured grades, and visionary teachings, the Golden Dawn promised not only magical power, but also the possibility of personal transformation. Its influence rippled through the works of iconic figures such as Aleister Crowley, William Butler Yeats, and Arthur Machen, and its legacy continues to permeate modern magical practice, literature, and popular culture. Though internal conflicts and schisms eventually fractured the original order, the ideas it propagated have been continually revived and reinterpreted by successive generations. Today, modern organizations and eclectic practitioners keep alive the flame of the Golden Dawn, striving to reconcile ancient wisdom with contemporary insights. Whether you are drawn to its rituals, its symbolism, or its promise of inner illumination, the story of the Golden Dawn is a testament to humanity's enduring quest for the mysterious and the sublime. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the history, teachings, and legacy of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. If you enjoyed this deep dive into occult history, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next episode on another fascinating chapter in human history. Until next time, keep your mind open to the mysteries, and your heart ready to seek the light beyond the veil. For further reading, I highly recommend works by Israel Regardie, Francis King, and the writings of Sheikh and Sandra Tabitha Cicero, which offer detailed accounts of the Golden Dawn's rituals and philosophy. Links to these resources are in the description below. Special thanks to our research team and to all the historians and occult scholars whose work has shed light on this enigmatic order. If you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover in future videos, please leave a comment below.